Meet the Binturong. It turns out that its seemingly lazy day off inside a zoo actually holds some really critical clues for helping its entire species survive out in the wild. So let's dive in and see what we can learn. So you might have heard this animal called a bear cat. But here's the thing. It's not a bear, and it's not a cat. Nope. It's actually in a family with civets. And this very unique creature, well, it's in a bit of trouble. So just how much trouble are we talking about? That brings us to its official status in the animal kingdom. Okay, so the IUCN, they're basically the global authority on this stuff, has officially classified the Binturong as vulnerable. And that's not just a word, it means they are facing a seriously high risk of going extinct in the wild.
And that vulnerable tag, it comes with a really stark number. The Binturong population has dropped by more than 30% in just the last 30 years. I mean, think about that. That's a massive decline in a pretty short amount of time.
So what's causing this? Well, it's really a perfect storm of threats. Their homes, the forests, are disappearing. They're being hunted for meat and for use in traditional medicine. And on top of all that, they're being illegally captured to be sold as pets. You know, to figure out how to help them out there, sometimes we have to get up close and personal in here. And that takes us to a specific conservation center where researchers are doing exactly that. Our journey takes us to the Raguan Wildlife Park in Jakarta, Indonesia. This is what's called an ex situ conservation center, which is just a scientific way of saying it's a place where animals are cared for outside their natural habitat, kind of like a protective safe house. And here, researchers zeroed in on 3 Binturongs in particular. Let's meet them. We've got Martin. He's a 15-year-old male from Sumatra. And then there's Amoy and Gaza, a male and female pair, both 10 years old, from Kalimantan. Just by watching their daily routines, we can learn so much. So what does a Binturong actually do all day? Well, researchers tracked pretty much everything these 3 did from 8 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon. And what they found was pretty surprising.
And the results? Whoa, they were incredibly clear. On average, these Binturongs spent a whopping 85% of their day just resting. Moving around, that was only about 7% of their time. Everything else, like grooming or eating, all got squeezed into the little bit that was left.
And this right here, this is what that 85% looks like. Just chillin', usually way up high on a branch where they feel nice and safe. It gives us a really clear picture of their daily life in this kind of environment.
Okay, so they rest a lot. But when they finally decide to get moving, it is truly a sight to see. These animals are built for a life in the trees. Just check out these incredible adaptations. Their hind legs can actually rotate backwards, which lets them grip the tree trunk to climb down head first. How cool is that? And that tail, it's not just for show, it's prehensile, meaning it acts like a 5th limb, giving them amazing balance and support as they navigate the canopy.
All right, so this brings us to the big question. All this daytime resting we're seeing, how does that compare to what they'd be doing out in the wild? Is this what their normal day looks like?
This is where it gets really fascinating. See, in the wild, Binturongs are what we call nocturnal and crepuscular. That means they're most active at night and then again around dawn and dusk. They'd be out looking for food between, say, 4 and 6 a.m. and then again from 8 to 10 p.m. But at the zoo, their whole schedule is flipped. They're mostly resting during the day because, well, they don't have to work for their food. Instead of spending hours searching for a meal, food just arrives. At Ragunan Zoo, mealtime is around 2 p.m. That one single event completely changes their natural rhythm, shifting them from being active hunters at dusk and dawn to being daytime waiters for a scheduled delivery. So their schedule is totally different. You might be asking, who cares? Why does that matter? Well, it matters a lot, because understanding these little differences is absolutely key to helping the entire species.
Remember that term from earlier, ex situ conservation? This is it, right here in action. By protecting animals in places like zoos, we're creating a vital safety net. But to do that job right, we have to understand what really makes these animals tick.
And that's really the bottom line. Studies like this aren't just for fun facts, they're essential. When we understand how an animal acts in captivity, zoos can make their enclosures better, they can improve daily life, and just generally boost their well-being. And a healthy, happy animal is way more likely to be part of a successful breeding program, which could one day help bring their numbers back up in the wild. So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. If we know a Binturong's natural instinct is to be active at dawn and climb trees with that incredible tail, how can we keep making these conservation centers better? How do we make a zoo less like a cage and much more like a home,
so that these amazing animals don't just survive, but actually thrive.